Okay, so we had studied about speed and we studied two concepts on speed. So mathematically speed will be distance upon time, and this is the last time to bid farewell to speed. इसके बाद और speed नहीं पढ़ेंगे. Distance upon time. The SI unit, distance is always measured in meters upon second, usually nowadays written as ms minus 1. Okay, if you are given speed in kilometer per hour, then 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meters per second. This will also be useful for you. We also studied something called average speed, and the average speed is taken as total distance traveled divided by total time taken. One small concept, another thing about speed, there is another thing called instantaneous speed. We discussed it as a concept, not that much required for grade 9. Okay, at grade 9 you should know, like if a traffic police is ticketing you, he's ticketing you on instantaneous speed at that particular moment. One more thing that we had to study was constant speed. यहाँ से मन दो, सब कुछ देखने में आसान लगता है लेकिन इसमें गड़बड़ करते हैं बच्चे. Constant speed means a body is said to be in constant speed if it travels equal distances in all these are confusing statements. Uniform motion was equal distances in equal intervals of time, no matter how small the time intervals are. Constant speed is also same. A body is said to be in constant speed if it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Let's say this is 0, this is say 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, and let's say this is the 0, start of the time, this is first second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So what we are trying to say here, this is in meters and this is in seconds. A body, let's say you have a body, and if this body travels or covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. आएगा बाद में, अभी एक ही जैसा ही लग रहा है आपको. मोशन यूनिफॉर्म है, इक्वल डिस्टेंस इन इक्वल इंटरवल्स ऑफ टाइम. मेक श्योर no matter how small the time intervals are, how small the time intervals are. So if in this example we observe that for every interval of 1 second the body is covering 10 meters, but you don't have any information what happened to 0.5 seconds. You will be, that's why we added this line. You are in constant speed only if somebody wants to test what happened at 0.5 seconds, he should get 5 meters. And if he wants to test here what happened at 0.25 seconds, so here it should be 2.5 meters. This is how it behaves. Slowly this chapter will have lot of importance on graph. अगर आप इसका ग्राफ देखो तो ऐसा आएगा, देखो, look at the graph. This is time and this is distance traveled. You will always get a straight line, constant speed. Just see, you'll always get a straight line. For example, for every 1, 2, 20, 3, 30, 4, 40, so you'll get a straight line. Okay? And if your speed is not constant, this does not happen every day. Speed constant means if you have done a cruise lock, some cars have cruise control. On cruise, if you lock the cruise and set it at say 70, at that time you are traveling in constant speed. Possible है, ये हम करते भी हैं. When you are driving on the road, because here what is important in speed is distance, it's not displacement. So you can go whichever direction you are going. Let's say, so for example, let's say we are going from our place to airport. The road is in this manner, say. But this is, since it's an ORR type road, you can set your speed on cruise, say 80, and you can lock it at 80. And suppose the road is empty, at that time you are going at constant speed. Equal distances in equal intervals of time, no braking allowed. ठीक है, constant speed समझ में आ गया. चलिए, अब स्पीड के ऊपर कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स करेंगे और फिर वी विल से बाय बाय टू स्पीड. फाइन, कैन आई रब दिस? वेरी गुड. So by now you know rest, motion, distance, displacement, vector quantity, scalar quantity. One vector you have studied so far, displacement. One scalar, distance, and speed is also scalar. Because in speed you are allowed, the speed is coming out from distance and time. Distance itself is scalar, time is scalar, so speed automatically is scalar. And in speed you are allowed to go any direction. कैसे भी जाओ, ठीक है? So initially these problems will come very easy. So let's start doing these problems. These problems will have more of unit conversion. इसमें आपको unit conversion के ऊपर टेस्ट होगा. Like say they will give you the data in kilometer per hour. You will be asked to give the data in centimeters per second or meters per second. Are all of you fine with conversions? Kilometer, meter. 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 1 hour is 3600 seconds. And 1 minute has got 60 seconds. अगर आप इतना जानते हैं, then you know a lot. Come on, let's try and do some problems. Okay. Now the first problem says, let's take the problem. Don't be in a hurry to solve the question and get the answer. Try to understand. It says a scooterist covers the distance of 3 kilometers. So in physics, the way we will do is like this. Always write your given data. Given. First you write distance. Distance, and you are supposed to write your, don't write v is equal to s by t, ऐसा लिख दे वो काट देगा आपका. Distance, distance in physics we denote by the word s. d नहीं लिखते हैं. यहाँ पे सबसे पहला गड़बड़ी होगा आपको, because your mind will say speed is s. Distance and displacement को हम s से लिखते हैं, ठीक है? s. So distance is equal to how much? 3 kilometers. 3 kilometers. K in small, m in small. करेक्ट लिखिएगा. 3 किलोमीटर्स. टाइम टेकन यहां पे लिखिए गिवन. टाइम इज इक्वल टू, टाइम पे t डाल दीजिए ताकि बाद में देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम व्हेन यू सब्स्टिट्यूट. टाइम इज 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. We need to now write to find a speed, और स्पीड को ब्रैकेट में v लिख लीजिए. स्पीड इन, the first one they say find the speed in centimeter per second. Centimeter per second. कोशिश करें centimeter per second. So you first write. Now you can say solution. If you now write v is equal to s upon t, nobody will take away your marks because you have already defined what is it. It's like computer programming. Variables पहले define कर दिया आपने. Header data, as we say in programming. Then this, nowadays the problem is nowadays school give you marks, but a khusat like me will absolutely give you 0. मैं नहीं दूंगा. आजकल स्कूल देते हैं, यही तो खराबी है ना. The acceptance level has come down a lot. So now write v is equal to s by t. Now see Anusha, what we have to do, we have to get the answer in centimeter per second. ठीक है? तो s का डेटा कितना है हमारा. Now since this is equal to, you can write this sign or. So you write v is equal to s कितना है बेटा? 3 kilometers. Now you want it in centimeters. 3 kilometers is 3 into 10 to the power 3 meters. Got it? Every meter is 100 centimeters. So we multiply by, use exponents, another 2. Then this is automatically coming in centimeter. How many understood? How many did not understand? Kilometer is 3 into 10 to the power 3. 1000 नहीं बोलना है. Use exponents. 3. Why did you learn exponents otherwise? 3 into 10 to the power 3 meters. Okay, 3 kilometers. Can I write this as 3 into 10 to the power 3 meters? Got it? Which is also equal to whatever meters into 10 to the power 2 centimeters. Have you understood? 100 centimeters ना? Clear हुआ? तो इतना हो गया हमारा सेंटीमीटर. और नीचे सेकंड करना है. सेकंड करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? 5 minutes means 5 into 6 into 10 ऐसा ले लो. 60 करने की जगह मैंने 6 into 10 किया क्योंकि 10 में the काटाकाटी happens very easily. Did you get it? I could have written 5 into 60. Okay, so we'll write here also 5 minutes means 5 into 60 seconds, which is also equal to 5 by 60. This is R. HR नहीं लिखते हैं बेटा, H लिखते हैं. HR नहीं लिखते हैं. ये समझ में आया? This is in seconds, that is in hour. All okay? First time we have to convert in centimeter per second. Anyone who has not understood this part can ask me. The idea is to bring more and more into tens, then your calculation becomes easier. Correct? हाँ, BC. They'll ask you to calculate in kilometer per hour, meter per second, सब कुछ देगा आपको. ठीक है? क्या हो गया? मरियल का बड़ा है, समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? अच्छा करो इसको. How to do it? Let's do it. 3 ने 6 को काटा कितने में? 2. And 5 into 2 is also, look the beauty of calculation. 5 into 2 is also 10. 10 into 10 is 100. So don't you think ऊपर में कितना मिलेगा? 10 to the power 5 divided by 10 to the power 2. 3 plus 2 5. ठीक है? तो ये कितना हो गया? This becomes 10 to the power 5 minus 2, which is 10 to the power 3, and you're absolutely correct. 1000 centimeter per second. CBSE never gives you tough calculation, but your calculating technique will be tested. जितना टेंस में लाएंगे उतना काम आसान होगा. ठीक है, चलें नेक्स्ट वाला आप लोग करो. बी, speed v in, they've asked you to find out in meters per second. Meters per second. Do in the same way. Try to get it in meters per second. नहीं, ये सब लिख लो ना ऐसे. v is equal to, ये लिखो meters per second, and C you have to do speed in kilometer per hour, km per h. I've given you all data. hour में कितना होता है जोड़ा ना. Actually meter per second आने के बाद you can straight away convert into hour. There you multiplied by 5 by 18. Here you will multiply by 18 by 5 or divide by 5 by 18. It's the same thing. See, if 1 kilometer per hour is this means 1 meter per second should be equal to 1 by 5 by 18 kilometer per hour. Don't you agree? Which should be equal to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. These are techniques to do faster. But if you want to do it in this way, nothing wrong. Initially, I'll tell you, do it in the baby steps method. Anyone who has not understood, पहले आपको ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स खूब आएंगे. कन्वर्शन, they'll try to play everything on unit conversion. कितना है बोलो? हाँ, 1000 centimeter. See. Yes. Solving the second part was, although you solved it, but it was one sort of foolishness. First part is how much? 1000 centimeters per second. In next they have asked you just find in meters per second. हाँ, तो इससे 2 0 काट लो. 10 meters per second. अब समझ रहे हो कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में कैसे फास्ट जाने का. 10 meters per second. और अगला आंसर निकालने के लिए 10 को 18 by 5 means your answer will be 180 by 5. 5 3s are 15, 5 6, 36 किलोमीटर पर आवर आंसर आएगा. करके देखो. ठीक है. See the first answer. Anya, are you able to follow? First answer is 1000 centimeter per second. They have asked you to find in meters per second. Convert 1000 centimeter to meter, 10 meters. And the next answer is 10 meters. 1 meter per second is 18 by 5. So 10 meters is 180 by 5. And 180 divided by 5 is 36. Or else you want to do it this way, do it this way. करो, पहले करो, उसमें कोई शर्मिंदगी नहीं है. हाथ खुलेगा फिर. Understood? Now this book ends at one example of this. यही आप HC वर्मा में करेंगे, ऐसे बहुत सारे examples रहेंगे. Where they literally test you centimeter, meter, meters, meter, kilometer, meter, kilometers. Fine. Shall we take next problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The answers are 1000 centimeter per second, 10 meters per second, and 36 kilometer per hour. Please note, you should not write HR, km stroke h. HR मत लिखिएगा, यहाँ पे hygiene बहुत मैटर करता है. Okay, our next question. And every question try to draw diagrams. The more you draw diagrams, if you cultivate this habit now, it will be easier for higher grades. Train A traveled a distance of 120 kilometer. Matlab we have a distance stretch which is 120 kilometer and there is a train A. आधा प्रॉब्लम इसी में क्लियर हो जाएगा आपको. ट्रेन A traveled a distance of 120 kilometer in 3 hours. इसको लगे 3 hour 120 kilometers को, ठीक है. Whereas train B, there is another train called train B. Train B is traveling 180 kilometers in 4 hours. It is traveling 120 kilometer in 4 hours. The question is very simple. Which train travel faster? इसे सॉल्व करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, ऐसे ही हो जाता है. 120 3 घंटा में कवर किया, 120 4 घंटा में कवर किया. So A travel faster. But how do you answer this? You answer this with the basis of speed. So you should work out. So we write given, say for train A, distance is always common. Distance S is equal to 120 kilometer, right? And time, this time we will write as TA. TA is equal to 3 hour. So you can find out speed, which will be VA, is unknown, and you can write VA will be equal to S upon TA, which is 120 upon 3 kilometer per hour, which is equal to 40 kilometer per hour. So train A went at 40 kilometer per hour. You can do this for train B. Train B, distance remains the same. Distance is S, which is 120 kilometer. Time will be TB, which is equal to 4 hours, and speed will be VB, which is unknown, and you say VB is equal to S upon TB, which is 180 upon 4. So 4 is 16 to 20, 4 5. क्या उल्टा आ रहा है? Oh, this is 120. Why am I writing 180? Wait, hold on. 120 upon 4. So this is 30 kilometer per hour. So you write, since VA is greater than VB, therefore train A is faster than train B. बस आंसर खत्म. I am writing only for you to understand how to solve the problem. ये छुटका प्रॉब्लम करोगे ना, V is equal to S by T लिखोगे, काटूंगा, लेकिन इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ. मेहनत which I am doing now, I will take out equal मजा when I check your copy. So please maintain this chronology way you do problems. ऐसे मेहनत नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? चलो, डन. ये साइड मिटाता हूं. वन मोर प्रॉब्लम. एग्जाम्पल. नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल इज a car travels 30 kilometer. So we have a stretch of 30 kilometers. First I'll always draw the problem first. A car travels 30 kilometer 30 kilometer at a uniform speed of 40 kilometer per hour. So here it's traveling 30 kilometer at 40 kilometer per hour. This is the speed. Let's first understand the problem. Okay, 40 kilometer per hour, and next 30 kilometers आगे और 30 kilometers है, ठीक है ना. The next 30 kilometer the car is traveling at a uniform speed of 20 kilometer per hour. यहाँ पे वो maintain कर रहा है 20 kilometer per hour. They've asked find its average speed. Very interesting. They've asked find its average speed. So let me jot down the problem first. First, let us think what to do in this case. Okay, don't see the textbook. Textbook बंद कीजिए, फिर आपको मजा नहीं आएगा. Given number one, given let's say stretch one, which we can take as S1 is equal to 30 kilometers, and speed, which is V1 is equal to 40 kilometers per hour. ठीक है? Then we are given stretch 2, which is S2, which is equal to how much? 30 kilometers. See, if the visualization is there, you know the problem. And your speed is V2, which is equal to 20 kilometer per hour. Now, this is like how much you scored in history, how much you scored in physics. Overall, you have to find your average speed. So, to find, write average speed. Now, when you write average speed, put a V and put a bar on this. Bar means mean को हम हमेशा bar से लिखते हैं, x bar, mean. So this is average speed V bar for journey. This is what you have to find out. Is this much clear or not? Can I rub the right side? Okay. Now start thinking. The only formula you know so far you know two formulas. One is the formula for speed, which is distance upon time. Start preparing a formula chart also. You know two formulas so far. One is speed equal to distance by time. One is average speed. Tirumala Devasthanam TDT by TTT. Again. So, solution starts from here. Solution. Average speed V bar is always given by total distance traveled, which in your case would be S1 plus S2. This is the total distance traveled, divided by total time taken. Now here is the problem. आपके पास total time नहीं है इस problem में. अगर आप देखो, Sir, but you have. नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ given data में total time नहीं है. You have this data with you. Total distance is how much? 60. But you don't have total time. ये इसी में problem है. Total time taken. Let's say total time taken we put as t. Now we will calculate for this. We'll say t equal to time for stretch 1, which we'll write as say t1 plus time for stretch 2, which is t2, t1 plus t2. ठीक है ना? समझ में आया? टोटल टाइम कितना है? यहां से फर्स्ट वी वेंट टू इनऑर्बिट मॉल टू आइकिया, और से वी वेंट टू आइकिया फर्स्ट एंड देन टू इनऑर्बिट मॉल. टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड इज आइकिया टू इनऑर्बिट मॉल. सो विल फर्स्ट फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज टाइम टेकन टिल आइकिया प्लस, फैन ऑन कर लो बेटा, प्लस टाइम टेकन टू इनऑर्बिट मॉल. देख लो प्लग ऑन है कि नहीं. ठीक है? देन विल सी व्हाट इज द टाइम टेकन फॉर दिस. करेक्ट? So let's calculate for T1. How will you calculate T1? You know the formula. V1 should be equal to S1 by T1. So T1 should be equal to S1 by V1. समझ में आ रहा है? तो T1 calculate कीजिए. What is your S1? S1 by V1. What is S1? 30. 30 divided by how much? क्या हो गया? 40. which is equal to fraction है तो fraction में रहने दो. 3/4. This whole problem is coming in R. So leave it in R. 3/4 R. Did you understand? T2. T2 will be equal to S2 by V2, and you can write this word similarly. Double LY means similarly. This stands for similarly. T2 is equal to S2 by V2. 30 divided by 20. That is 3/2 R. Now total time T is given by T1 plus T2, which is equal to 3/4 plus 3/2. 4 और 2 का LCM कितना होता है? 4. So 4. So this is 3 and this becomes 6, which is equal to 9/4 R. Total time. नाउ वी जस्ट नीड टू प्लग हर, सारा डाटा आ गया। चलो अब वी बार निकालते हैं। वी बार कितना हो गया, S1 प्लस S2 डिवाइडेड बाई टी। S1 प्लस S2 करें तो कितना होगा, 60 डिवाइडेड बाई 9/4। इफ यू आर कंफ्यूज देन डू लाइक अ बेबी, 60 डिवाइडेड बाई 9/4 विच इज इक्वल टू 60 इंटू 4/9, है ना। कितना हो गया, 3 is 9 and then 20. Now 24 is 80. So it gives you 80/3, है ना, किलोमीटर पर आवर। जो सॉल्व करना है तो कर लीजिए, कितना आएगा, 3 2 जा 6 2 20, 3 6 जा 18, 26.6666 बार आएगा। सो अच्छा, डू यू नो हाउ टू डू फिजिक्स में, दिस आंसर विल कम एज 26.6666 बार होगा। So you are getting 26.666. Do you know how to round up and round down? Round up, round down जानते हैं? 2 place decimal. So we always round it up to 2 place decimal. Listen, understand this technique. When you round for 2 place decimal, the third number is your decider. If the third number is 5 or more than 5, increment the value of the second one. But when you go to higher classes, then there also is a clause. If it is more than 5, we increment it. If it is less than 5, we don't do anything. If it is equal to 5, then there is a clause. This will learn in 11. This number will become 26.67 kilometer per hour. My question is, if it was 26.663, then you will retain the answer as 26.66. Have you understood?
So what about for 5?
What about for 5? If it is 26.665, अब क्या करोगे? At your level or a Cambridge guy, he will still increment it. He'll still increment it. But the actual rule is you need to look for the second place. If the second place is odd, then we increment it. If the second place is even, retain the way it is. High level हो गया आपके लिए, पर अगर सीखना चाहते हो, there is no age. Third place is 5. Immediately don't increment the second value. If the second place is odd, then it goes up. But at your level, if you increment it, nobody will cut marks. Means 23.635 will be retained as 23.63. However, 23.675 will be retained as 23.68. समझ में आया? We are looking at this digit. ये odd है तो अच्छा odd है, sorry उल्टा लिख दिया, ये odd है तो increment करेंगे 64. And if it is 23.675, then we retain as 23.67. Even है यार 665. If it is even, then we retain the even number. If it is even, you retain it. But at your level, 5 or more than 5, increase it. Nobody is going to cut your marks. Did you understand how this problem is to be done? This is called without missing steps. Teacher should check your problem and get the whole chronology. Say the problem becomes clear. This boy has now come late. अब ये लड़का ये प्रॉब्लम अगर समझ पा रहा है ना, तो ही हम समझेंगे हमारा करने का टेक्निक ये है, because he was not there when the question was spoken out. So let's see. Our question is, a car travels 30 km at some speed and another 30 km at some other speed. We were asked to find out what is the average speed. So we jotted down our data. Stretch 1, the distance is 30 km, speed is 40. Stretch 2, distance is 30, speed is 20. We are asked to find average speed for the journey. We first look whether there is a formula for average speed. Yes, total distance traveled. The total distance is the sum of the two stretches divided by total time. अब ये डेटा हमारे पास है 30 + 30 60. ये डेटा हमारे पास नहीं है, हम फंस गए। अब इसको निकालना पड़ेगा। इसको कैसे निकालेंगे? The total time can also be said as the time for stretch 1 reciprocal to IKEA to in-orbit mall. Stretch 1, stretch 2. Stretch 1 का टाइम हमने निकाला। कैसे निकाला? Velocity is distance upon time, so time is equal to distance upon velocity. तो दोनों का इसका निकल गया। Now here also many people will do decimal. Avoid decimal till the last moment. When you are choked and you have सुल्तान जैसा है, जब पूरा मर रहे हो तब हाथ उठा देना, then you convert decimal. Otherwise retain the decimals retain the fractions. They are easy to work with. This 3/4. Similarly, this comes 3/2. And then we add the 2 times, we get 9/4 hour. Now if somebody tells us that you should give this answer to me in meter per second, okay, this is kilometer per hour. If somebody would have said give the answer in meter per second, so we'll take 80/3 इंटू 5/18 मीटर पर सेकेंड। कर लो इसको, 16 5 जा 80। नाउ अगेन अच्छा आंसर आएगा। क्लियर, अंडरस्टूड, वेरी गुड, ऑल इंटेलिजेंट चिल्ड्रन, वेरी गुड। कॉपी कर लो भाई साहब। You want to copy? You can copy down. तुमको हवा भी आ रहा है क्या? वो तो उस रूम में हवा दे रहा है। तुमको देख के मुझे ही गर्मी लग रहा है। ठीक है, लो कांस्टेंट कर देते हैं तुमको, कांस्टेंट। ठीक है बाबू, आ रहा है हवा। ये बायोलॉजी किताब रोज क्यों लेके आते हो? हाँ, लेट आए हो उसके लिए नहीं निकालेंगे, पर निकालेंगे क्लास से। क्यों? क्योंकि बायोलॉजी किताब लाए हो। समझ रहे हो ना? पुलिस ने पकड़ा किस लिए? लाइसेंस तो था हमारा, लाइसेंस के लिए थोड़ी पकड़ रहे हैं। ब्रेक मार के लाल लाइट दिखाइए, नहीं जल रहा है ना। 2 बार किए हो ये गलती। लेट इज नॉट एन इश्यू व्हेन यू हैव अ वैलिड रीजन। तो क्लास में कॉपी भी कौन सा लाए हो मैंने चेक नहीं किया, 100% गलत कॉपी होएगा वो भी। देख लो, इसमें फिजिक्स के पुराने नोट्स हैं, देखो। नहीं है? नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर इज योर प्रॉब्लम। Now some parents think that I am harsh. Now I am not harsh. If I actually send you home now, I am not sending you for late coming. You have a reason. Your bus went for a puncture. ये क्यों गलत है? इसका मतलब है कि आप जो मिलता है वही लेके आ जाते हैं। इसको ही मैं उस दिन कह रहा था इनको, proactiveness to study should be there. It's not about we getting late. बायो कॉपी लाए हो, आप जाइए सही कॉपी और ये लेके आइए, वरना अभी क्या है ना, मेरे को डिस्टर्ब करते रहे। जाइए लेके आइए। और अगर घर में कोई पूछे ना मम्मी पापा, तो ये मत बोलिए बोले सर ने हमें दाखिला दे दिया लेट होने के लिए, पर सर इसलिए क्रोधित है कि हम गलत कॉपी और गलत में। आदमी सही आते हो वही ज्यादा है, कपड़ा वपड़ा पहन के, है ना। गलती करते करते एक दिन देखा ऐसे ही आ गया, तौलिया लगा के बाथरूम से, आई एम सो बिजी। जा कॉपी ले आ, नहीं तेरे को देखने से मेरे को गुस्सा आता रहेगा अभी। These 2 copies lie on his table on top. That's why every day he comes, he picks up these 2 copies. Last class also he came with a biology book and this. गिटार का कॉपी लेके नहीं आता है, वही ज्यादा है। और पीयूषा मैडम कैसे हैं? Any news about what happened in your school? Any news about what great things happened in your school? In your school? Am I not audible to you?
No, yeah. I am already.
No, something interesting didn't happen in your school. You always have to share some interesting stuff. Ma'am was teaching and we fell asleep, or ma'am was teaching and we had tiffin in between.
Most of our teachers didn't come. Everything is substitution.
She is very serious when she does class from home.
Today, who came would say, no, only Rakhi.
अच्छा चलो नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम। नाउ दिस प्रॉब्लम इज इंटरेस्टिंग। चलिए इसको 2-3 तरीके से कर सकते हैं। लेट्स टेक अनदर प्रॉब्लम एग्जाम्पल। ठीक है, on a 120 kilometer track. Now this chapter is obsessed with 120 kilometer. Everything is 120 here. So we have a 120 kilometer track. इस प्रॉब्लम को देखो, ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉब्लम है। ओके, अ ट्रेन ट्रेवल्स फर्स्ट 30 किलोमीटर्स। तो ये कितना हो गया बेटा? यहां से यहां 30 किलोमीटर्स है। So obviously this distance would be 90 kilometer. A train travels first 30 kilometers. Always make these diagrams. Diagrams speak 1,000 words when you're solving problem. A train travels first 30 kilometer at a uniform speed. यानी कि ये मेरा S1 है और यहाँ पे मेरा V1 है 30 किलोमीटर पर आवर, यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड ऑफ 30 किलोमीटर पर आवर। समझ में आया? ठीक है. हाउ फास्ट, दिस इज जस्ट लाइक फर्स्ट 15 ओवर्स एक तरह का बैटिंग किया, नेक्स्ट 15 ओवर्स अलग बैटिंग करना पड़ेगा. हाउ फास्ट शुड द ट्रेन ट्रेवल इन द नेक्स्ट हाफ, दैट मीन्स यहां का वेलोसिटी मेरे को नहीं पता, ये कितना होना पड़ेगा सो दैट एवरेज द ट्रेन मेंटेन्स, जो एवरेज स्पीड है ना v बार, इट शुड बी 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर. मान लो ये क्वेश्चन आपके कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में आया है, समथिंग लाइक a FITGI entrance and all, and you are not supposed to touch your pen and paper. हमें करना है. Generally children try to see, you will solve it in 1 minute actually. First understand the problem. There is a stretch of 120 kilometers in which every one of us does like that. First term you don't study well, so you get less percentage, but parents are giving you full danda. Now how much should you hard work on the second stretch so that you get overall itna percent marks aana chahiye? Is the problem just like that? Right. Let's not touch pen and paper. What is the distance? 120. If you make your average speed as 60, 120 kilometers travel करने के लिए कितना टाइम चाहिए आपको? 2 hours चाहिए. Means in 2 hours you should reach your destination. Do you agree or not? We are just doing mental mathematics. पहला 30 किलोमीटर आप 30 के एवरेज में गए तो कितना टाइम बर्बाद कर लिया? 1 hour बर्बाद कर लिया. So out of 2 hour, 1 hour is already gone. How much time you have? 1 hour. How much distance to cover? So what should be your speed? 90 kilometer per hour. Did you understand the trick how to solve these problems? Overall distance 120. Time taken, average speed is how much? 60. That means how much time you should take? 2 hours. 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर मतलब क्या? एक घंटे में 60, अगले घंटे में 60. How much did I travel? 120. Reach destination. So I should take 2 hours. Now I went like a tortoise, 30 kilometers in 30 kilometers with 30 kilometers average speed. So एक घंटे में कितना कवर किया? 30 किलोमीटर. 2 घंटे के टाइम में 1 घंटा तो क्या? How much time am I left with? 1 hour. और कितना बाकी है? तो एवरेज स्पीड कितना होना चाहिए? 90. करें इस प्रॉब्लम को. ये तो टेक्निक हो गया, अब इसको करके देखते हैं. लेट्स ट्राई एंड डू. ओके, तो लेट्स चेक. कम ऑन, आ जाओ. पहले गिवन डेटा लिखते हैं. कम ऑन, हेल्प मी टू राइट द गिवन डेटा. हाउ विल यू राइट गिवन डेटा? Stretch 1 is S1, which is equal to 30 kilometers, and speed V1 is equal to 30 kilometer per hour. Got it? Okay. Then stretch 2, which is S2, is equal to 120 minus 30 equal to 90 kilometer. Average velocity or average speed v bar is equal to 60 kilometer per hour. This is what is given to you, right? Now to find speed v2, right? What speed you should maintain. ठीक है? Now how to bring this problem? We can write V2 should be equal to S2 divided by T2, and you write here, see we have not defined what is T2, so please write here T2 is equal to time taken for S2. Do you know T2? You don't know T2. नहीं पता ना? कहाँ पता है? नहीं पता, निकालना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो यू डोंट नो T2. लेट T be total time, and total time is equal to T1 time for S1 plus T2. Total time means you will require some time here T1 and some time here as T2. Now we will use this data, average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled, that is S1 plus S2 divided by total time taken, right? So from here you get your data of T. T will be equal to S1 plus S2 divided by V bar. Did you understand? T idhar gaya, V bar idhar aaya. S1 plus S2 is how much? 120 divided by V bar. V bar is how much? 60. So this gives you 2R, right? Now we need to, our job is to find T2. T2 मिल गया तो हमको सब मिल जाएगा, लेकिन T2 अभी भी नहीं मिला. Now T is equal to T1 plus T2. Now calculate the value of T1. T1 should be equal to S1. V1 is S1 upon T1. So T1 is S1 by V1, which is equal to S1 कितना है? 30 divided by 30, which is equal to 1 hour. So you write overall T2 is equal to 1 plus T2. So T2 is equal to 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1 hour. This job is all easy. You've got it. Now finally you say V2 is equal to S2 by T2, which is equal to 90 by 1, which is equal to 90 kilometer per hour. Check कर लो flow, whether you have understood or you have not understood. They have asked us the time for this stretch. The time for this stretch is this stretch distance divided by this stretch speed, right? As they have asked the speed for this stretch. The speed is equal to distance by time. We know the distance is 90. Time we don't know. How do we take out time? We use average velocity. Total distance by total time. So we first find out total time. From that total time, we take out this time. This time we can find out because दोनों data दिया हुआ है. निकल गया? Understood? Very good. But if it is an MCQ question, don't be an idiot to do like this. You can actually do it much more faster. And if you do HC Verma में भर के problem चाहिए सब, and all very interesting ones. Did I share HC Verma PDF? Yeah, दे दूँगी. In fact, that is the cheapest book that you can get. It's even सस्ता than one ice cream. HC Verma doesn't take any royalty on his books. How do writers earn money? Like Lakshmi Singh. I used to study in my time. So publisher जितना कॉपी बिकता है ना उसके ऊपर रॉयल्टी देते हैं. Whatever they earn, they'll pay a royalty to the writer. Like किशोर कुमार जो गाना गाता था. So HMV, the records company, his master's voice. HMV pays 4 generations of Kishore Kumar royalty. उसको दिया, उसके बेटे को देगा, उसके next बेटे. So much he has sung for them. So royalty. HC Verma doesn't take any royalty. इसलिए that book is priced at some 130 rupees. He actually teaches all Hindi medium children of the underprivileged segment. उनको पढ़ाते हैं. ठीक है, मिटाएं? Anyone who did not understand? Can I rub? चलो, और एक प्रॉब्लम है, उसको करने के बाद we bid bye bye to speed forever. So speed एक स्केलर क्वांटिटी है. स्पीड को हम निकालते हैं कैसे बेटा? We find it as the ratio of distance upon time. एक ही फॉर्मूला एक्स्ट्रा हमने सीखा, एवरेज स्पीड टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय टोटल टाइम टेकन. बस स्पीड में ये दोनों प्रॉब्लम ही हमें आता है. चलिए एक और प्रॉब्लम, ये आप लोग खुद करो. There is a train. ओके, मैं क्वेश्चन में डेटा वेटा नहीं लिखूंगा, मैं जस्ट ऐसे लिखूंगा. There is a train and this train travels at a speed of 60 kilometer per hour. 60 kilometer per hour for 0.52 hour. This train travels 60 kilometer per hour for 0.52 hour. Okay, and there is another data for this train, and next 0.24 hour the train is traveling at a speed of, the speed is 70 किलोमीटर पर आवर. समझ गया? पहला 0.52 आवर एक स्पीड में गया, नेक्स्ट 0.24 आवर इट वेंट एट अ डिफरेंट स्पीड. कैलकुलेट एवरेज स्पीड. पहले गिवन डेटा लिखो. There is no marks for doing it first. All my appreciations are doing it in a proper manner. You have to find out average speed. Write down whatever given data you think you have got given. Right? So stage 1 you can write. For stage 1 you write speed is v1 which is equal to 60, time is t1 which is equal to 0.52 hours. And later on when you handle 0.52 you can always make it 52 by 100. Number becomes easier to handle. So write stage 1. इस प्रॉब्लम को try to break it down in your mother tongue. एक स्टेज है, दो स्टेज है. स्टेज 1 के डेटास लिखो, स्टेज 2 के डेटास लिखो और फिर लिखो टू फाइंड क्या है. Piyusha, did you understand? Very good. Write down. ये देखो, ये यहीं पे गलती हो जाएगा. तुमने लिखा है केस 1 v1 इक्वल टू दिस. रॉन्ग है. यही तो मैं बोलता हूं, यही बच्चे करेंगे. यू आर interested to get the answer, which I am not. These are simple arithmetic where there will be some division. Is there some great maths here? No. Compound interest has much more efficient maths. Here the job is to understand. See what he did, he is straight away solving it and he'll get the right answer. He is writing v1 is equal to 60. v मतलब क्या? वानी कपूर. मैं क्या जानू v क्या है? v enter victory. वेनेजुएला. भाई साहब वो शॉर्टकट मत मारिए, इसीलिए मैंने सारे प्रॉब्लम्स किए आपके साथ. यू हैव रिटन केस 1 राइट. आई विल आल्सो यूज योर लैंग्वेज. चलो केस 1 ही लिखते हैं. चलो और अब जस्ट लाइक यू केस 1. इन केस 1 आई विल राइट स्पीड v1 इक्वल टू 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर. टाइम T1 0.52 hour. Case 2 speed V2 कितना चला जाता है यार. फर्स्ट आंसर लाना थोड़ी है. 70 किलोमीटर पर आवर. एंड टाइम T2 as what? 0.24 hour. Okay, 1 minute of your time. Okay. Many of you right now must be dreaming, everyone dreams that I want to pursue a career in machine learning, data science, the 2B subjects, okay? I want to be in IT, I want to be in robotics, I want to, you know, if you want to be a good programmer, अगर आप अच्छा प्रोग्रामर हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे लोग समझते हैं good programmer means typing is not programming. If you are a good programmer, initially your program may be long, the code may be long, but when a tester comes to test it, he is unable to break any and find any bug in your program, right? Like when we write programs in any software, there will be a team called UAT, user acceptance testing. They will keep on finding fault. Once they give up their hands, your program is rock solid. आपका प्रोग्राम तभी rock solid होगा जब आप पूरे सिनारियो को समझेंगे. You see any guy who is a detective, have you seen pinboarding? फोटो के साथ पूरा मर्डर केस सॉल्व करते हैं ना. They write it everything. Wars, they will draw everything. पूरा चीज को फैला के एनालाइज कीजिए. Don't be hungry for the answer. End of the day, if you get the right answer and I get, we always get same points. But if there are some teachers like me who see a better way of writing, मैं उसको 1 मार्क एक्स्ट्रा दूंगा. ये समझ के किया है, इसको आता है, ये कल 2 बच्चों और को समझा पाएगा. तभी ना जनरेशन सीखते हैं. In Infosys there is to be a person called Shibu Lal. There were 6 founders, not Narayan Murthy, not Nandan Nilekani. एक कृष्ण गोपाल कृष्णन था और एक शिबू लाल था. They were considered as excellent programmers. 600-700 लाइन का कोड लिख देता है, कोई एरर नहीं करेगा. Those days when Infosys was founded, they were not in the front on the marketing side and all, which Narayan Murthy and all that. These 2 guys, they were great. They were known as the best programmers. ऐसा करो, ये सब लिखने से आप सिनारियो समझेंगे, तभी आप लॉजिक बिल्ड कर पाएंगे. हम लोग क्या है, प्रॉब्लम मिला नहीं,
चतुर्लिंगम की तरह फरान नाइट्रेट एंड प्री रेजुलाइजेशन वी स्टार्ट टू हंट, नहीं आंसर आएगा। ठीक है, चलो क्या निकालना है? टू फाइंड व्हाट? V bar, which is your average speed. So I should write average speed first and write V bar. ठीक है, to find average speed, which is V bar, unknown. सबसे पहले V bar का फॉर्मूला लिखते हैं, ठीक है ना? First let us write the formula for V bar. V bar is equal to total distance traveled. Total distance traveled, right? And here see Arav, I am writing S1 plus S2. You may dispute with me, sir, you have not yet defined what is S1 and S2, right? You can dispute. So I am writing here S1 is equal to distance for case 1 and S2 is equal to distance for case 2. देखो बेटा, अभी कोई भी आदमी आएगा उसको सब कुछ डिटेल है, ठीक है? डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल टाइम टेकन। तो यहां पे मैं लिखता हूं T और यहां T को भी डिफाइन कर देता हूं। चलो, T इज इक्वल टू T1 प्लस T2। तो आवर प्रॉब्लम बॉइल्स डाउन टू व्हाट? भाई साहब ये तो नहीं पता हमें, ये पता है, ये नहीं पता। अब इनको निकालते हैं। नाउ यू राइट V1 विल बी इक्वल टू S1 by T1 और T1 इज इक्वल टू S1 by V1। Agreed? And similarly V2 will be equal to S2 by T2 or T2 is equal to
T2 by S.
S2 by V2। ठीक है, तो चलो इसको सॉल्व करते हैं। T1 को सॉल्व करो बेटा। S1 कितना है हमारा? S1 हाँ, S1 भी तो नहीं पता ही। S1 is distance 1, T1 T2 पता है। What nonsense I am writing? S1 we have to find out, na? T1 plus T2 we know. What? V1 is equal to S1 by T1 और S1 is equal to V1 T1 and V2 is equal to S2 by T2 and S2 is equal to V2 T2. This is your grade 6 problem. Distance equal to speed into time. ये तो हमने बहुत किया है। चलो करते हैं। So S1 is V1. V1 is how much? 60 into 0.52. How much is it? 200? Oh नहीं, 60 से करो। 6 into 2, 12 का 2, 1 carry over। 6, 5, 30 plus 1, 31। Since we are multiplying it with 60, so 0, 31.2। देखो तो ठीक है कि नहीं? ठीक होना ही चाहिए। 60 का हाफ होता है 30, 31.2 मोटा मोटी ठीक। What? My head or your head? Kilometers. What is S2 equal to? V2. How much is V2? 70 into कृतिक पूरा बोर हो गया है। 7 4 28 8 2 कैरी ओवर 7 2 14 plus 2 16 0 16.8 kilometer. Time for a PTM with Kritik's mom. Yes sir. Very quick. आजकल खाली यही कृतिक 8 में क्या सीरियस था स्टार्टिंग में। आफ्टर हाफ ऑफ ग्रेड 8 तो तुम आरसीबी जैसा बन गया है, खाली हाइप। हाँ, यू सी अ मैच बिटवीन मुंबई एंड आरसीबी, दीज आर ऑल सोशल प्लेटफॉर्म हाइप मैचेस, सब हारते हैं। लेकिन वो राजस्थान रॉयल्स, वो रियान पराग, वो सब कितना अच्छा खेलता है। उनके मैच में ना कोई करीना कपूर जाती है, ना कोई अभिषेक बच्चन, ना नेहा धूपिया। ऑल दोज यू विल फाइंड ओनली इन द अंबानी का जो ये मुंबई इंडियंस एंड आरसीबी मैचेस में देखोगे, है ना? बड़ा सही चैंपियन चुपचाप खेल रहा है जयपुर में बैठ के। चलो, नाउ लेट्स फाइंड वी बार। सो वी बार इज इक्वल टू S1 plus S2 divided by T1 plus T2. Let's find out what is S1 plus S2. 31.2 and 16. 80 20 is 1. 30 and 15 is 45. So 31, 46, 16, 47 and 1 48. I think it should be 48 kilometers divided by 0.52 plus 0.24. Acha, many children will say, no sir, we didn't understand how you got this data. 31.20 plus 16.80 divided by 0.52 plus 0.24. How much is it? This is 48. और नीचे कितना है? 0.76. भाई साहब कर लो, यहाँ पे पॉइंट बिठा के 2 जीरो बिठा दो, इसको इसको काट दो. 4800 divided by 76. So you can do it. V bar. So many kilometer per hour. Did you understand now? इतना तो तेरा स्कूल भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं करेगा. सर आप बार बार स्कूल के साथ क्यों कंपेयर करते हैं? इसलिए क्योंकि तुम पढ़ते नहीं हो. $63.15. आंसर तो गलत आया है. क्या गलत आया है जरा चेक करो. What happened? V1. V1 is how much? 60 multiplied by 0.52. 31.2. ठीक है. 70 into 0.24. 16.8. ठीक है. Plus 31.2. 48 divided by, this is 52 and that is 24. 400. 76. 63.15. The book answer is 59.9. Some data did I take wrong? 13 to 0.24. ओ स्पीड गलत ले लिया था, कोई बात नहीं. Travels next 70. In book it was, this is 70. I took this as 30. नहीं, हाँ यहाँ पे देखो. Now the book has taken it wrong. 30 into 0.24. Why did they take? They have taken it wrong. Book ने गलत किया है. ठीक है, वे करेक्ट. चले, आर वी डन? सो सम बेसिक आइडिया बिफोर वी लीव फॉर टुडे. वी आर बिडिंग बाय बाय टू स्पीड फॉर एवर एंड चैप्टर एक्चुअली स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम हियर. ठीक है, द चैप्टर एक्चुअली स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम हियर. पेरेंट्स आर थिंकिंग दे आर स्टडीइंग विद जयदीप दास. बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ रहे होंगे. मेरे को पता है इधर क्या करते रहते हैं. मस्ती, आम पापड़ खाओ, ये करो वो करो, है ना, आरसीबी करो, मस्ती मारो, खूब मारो. मेरे को क्या, मैं क्लास 9 दोबारा थोड़ी पढ़ूंगा. आपने पढ़ना है. इट इज एक्स एंड योर लेग. ओके, वी बिड बाय बाय एंड नाउ वी कम टू अ न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड वेलोसिटी. और यहां से दिस विल बी विथ यू थ्रू आउट योर इंजीनियरिंग. I know that. इसका थोड़ा हो गया है. He has become slime. Velocity. Okay, velocity is what you will be studying now till your grade 12 engineering whatever आप पढ़ो. Speed bye bye हो गया है और speed नहीं रहेगा जब तक हम kinematics पढ़ेंगे. Velocity is the ratio of displacement over time. Displacement over time. Okay, net displacement over time. And displacement was what? Displacement was a vector quantity, shortest straight line distance between 2 points. Shortest straight line distance between 2 points. Understood? Now let us go back to displacement. अभी देखो कुछ मजेदार चीजें देखने को मिलेंगी. Displacement. Displacement was a vector quantity. If displacement is a vector quantity, displacement value can be positive. Displacement value can also be negative. Positive means it's a vector, means direction is more important here. Direction. Okay. If you are moving this way with a frame of reference, your displacement S is taken as positive. Acha, displacement is also denoted by S. Hence on, whenever you see S, distance, because in your book whenever you will study about display, I'll come to it why both are S, that also I'll come to it. So displacement is S. यहाँ मन लो ना यार, इतना distraction. वैभव, now you two guys from next class, now you all two will not sit together. It's not a harm. Anyone sits here, another one, you decide whatever. We can't disturb the whole class. Displacement is a vector quantity. It can be positive or it can be negative. Please understand. if the body is moving towards this side, which we take as a convention, if we are taking this side movement as positive, then opposite side the displacement will be negative हो जाएगा. That means velocity will also be a vector quantity. Unlike speed, velocity is also a vector quantity. As such, velocity can also be positive and can also be negative. Say for example, a body moves 110 meters in 1 second towards east. So we are taking its velocity as 10 meters per second positive. At the same time, one child moved 10 meters west in 1 second. The velocity of that child will be minus 10 meter per second. That does not mean that that child is going slower as compared to this child. यही सब गड़बड़ करोगे. This is very tough from now on. That means that child is just moving opposite as compared to this child. A car travels at a velocity of -4. Many people think it is slowing down. No. It is traveling opposite to the reference that you are considering. So, velocity is also a vector quantity. मन तुम लोग का उड़ गया है, आगे और नहीं पढ़ाएंगे, आज इतने में रखो. Velocity is the ratio of displacement over time. Whatever we learnt up till speed पढ़ के आइए. आगे यहाँ से पढ़ेंगे. Yeah.
Then how do you find a displacement?
We will see that. That will be given to us. We will see. अभी तो just start किया. Speed was distance upon time. Velocity is displacement upon time. That's why velocity is also known as speed in a defined direction. When you define the direction, then there is no other alternative to that direction. Please go from here to here in this way. That means you can't go this way. So in this movement, whatever is speed will be your velocity. चीजें confusing आएंगी धीरे धीरे. That's why I say pay attention. And next class you all will not sit together. This is for your betterment, not for mine. ठीक है? चलिए, we'll stop here. I will take it up in the next class.